Show me a hill I can climb. Give me a mountain to move, and I'll prove that it's a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
And a very good morning we've got going on. It's a wonderful Wednesday, a wet Wednesday. That means my partner in crime, my co-host this morning is Bradley Gilbert. Morning, Bradley.
Good morning, Becky.
Yay, and did you run or walk this morning?
Drove.
But
Drove.
From the vehicle to the station. Into.
A brisk walk. It was a brisk walk. I've been having my hat on today, so
Okay.
so my hair doesn't
Someone
get
messed
messed
your hair
up.
up. Yeah. It is Education Wednesday, and we're so happy to have her, and we're going to find out all the great things going on at Salem Community Schools, which we love. This is a great time to highlight and to toot our horn, which you got to do that for people to see you coming.
Absolutely.
Dolly Parton always said that.
Always.
We have Jennifer Martin. Good morning, our counselor from Salem High School. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning, Becky.
I want to make sure we
Brad.
get that microphone right in there. There you go. That a girl. There you go. All right. So glad to have you with us. Brad, let's thank our sponsors this morning.
All right, we've got Walmart, Meadowview Healthcare, Salem Crossing, Who's Your Upland, Celebrity Home Loans, Skyline Suites, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Foxbury Wealth Management.
Yay! Thank you to our great sponsors. And today is, today is the second day of February. Today is Groundhog Day.
Yes.
So am I right on this? I think this is right. If he sees his shadow, then we have more winter. If he doesn't see his shadow, it doesn't make sense because for some reason I want to think the other way.
You would think a nicer day would mean that spring was here.
Spring's coming. No.
Yeah.
If it's cloudy, if it's cloudy and he doesn't see it, that means spring's coming. It's just the opposite.
He's not going to see his shadow here today. No. But we don't want to. If we get all this stuff later, we don't want to relive Groundhog Day like the movie.
Oh, I know. Again.
It's like,
Again. So. Today is also California kiwi fruit. Jennifer, you like kiwi fruit?
It's okay. It's not my favorite.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, it's okay.
I like it. It just takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's very unique. I like it.
Yeah.
It's pretty to put on something with the green and the little seeds.
Yeah. You put it by a strawberry and pops. All right. This is also crepe day. I love crepes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
They're fine, yes. I saw that Monica Spalding was making crepes for Joanna Schmidt today. So for the French class at school.
Love
so
that.
That is also.
How apropos. I'm going to have to stop in and see. Maybe
some other students did too. But I saw on Facebook that's what Monica's daughter Ellie, I think I said Monica, but Ellie was making for class today. So
that is cool.
I thought I would have to probably pop up there at some point today.
I think I would definitely.
Just checking on you. How's it going?
Someone asked me years ago, if you were rich, what would be that one lecture? I said a butler, and they said, what would you have him make? And I said crepes. I just wake up with crepes. I don't think that's my goal anymore, though. I think I would just have. It's a lot simpler now. Just fresh sheets every morning. You know how nice you're every day, every evening, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's funny how your things, But
Yes.
crepes are definitely one of mine. Yeah,
They're up there.
Yeah.
yeah, crepes are really good. All right, Groundhog Day, Groundhog Job Shadow Day, job shadowing.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Heavily Hash Day, isn't that like with gravy and is it hash browns?
Well, it's got potatoes
Yeah.
and doesn't have sausage in it too. Maybe onions.
I don't know.
I don't.
There's a Heavenly Hash ice cream too, though.
Oh well, then that probably.
But I don't.
Look at you.
But it's not.
It's a rock star.
But I
thing.
think
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
two.
Keep telling.
But I've. Is
She's-
it Graders that has the Heavenly Hash ice cream?
Yeah.
I don't know. But it is what you were talking with the gravy and stuff too. But the ice cream doesn't have gravy.
Yeah.
We're doing a drink coffee game. You know what I mean? So every time you say ice cream, we have to drink coffee.
Okay.
No, just kidding.
Did you get your ice cream yesterday?
No, I did not get it yet, but it's over there, and that is.
They have an
Jennifer-
oatmeal cream pie flavor too. Gosh.
They have got Little Debbie's, all the Little
I
Debbie's.
saw that on
Ice
something.
cream, yeah.
I haven't
Yeah,
tried
Scott
any
posted
of
it
it.
on Facebook.
Okay, that's
I
probably
did
where it
too. I
was.
posted. I haven't. I posted that it was coming, and then now we've got it, and it's going to be just. I think that cosmic brownie, just that brownie, that chewy brownie
Mhm.
with the ice cream.
That would be.
Swiss roll, gotta be my
Well,
favorite.
but and you, how could you go wrong? Because you have your cake, like it's your zebra cakes. I mean, cake and ice cream.
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand.
The
And those-
Christmas tree cakes, though. There's
those-
something special about those.
Well, and then like, okay, so let's
Yeah.
say years ago, like if you go to a baby shower or something, they'd have little peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
She had some peanuts with that. You know what I mean? Like on the side, or like what's those little soft mints? That
Right, the little buttercream or-
Yeah.
Yeah, you could really.
Meltaways. Is that I don't know. But I think it's interesting because you said the Christmas tree. I mean, there's nothing can duplicate that, and it's a combination of all of it. What it's made out of, the shape, the perfect amount of the little green sugar
Mhm.
granule, everything is perfect. So anyway,
Yeah.
so it's got to be good in ice cream.
Gotta be.
Gotta be.
Gotta be. Let's see here. This is also National Change Your Windshield Wiper Day.
You're going to use your windshield wipers today. I don't know if I want to be out there trying to change one right now.
Yeah.
Yes, and for
Come
those.
see us. We can take it.
Oh,
true.
you guys are rock stars over there too. Your automotive team is fantastic.
If you purchase them, we don't even charge you to put them on.
I
We'll put them
know.
on for you.
You guys are wonderful, and they
Yeah.
care about. Yeah, they're good. They're good over there. Well, and then for those that are experiencing the rain right now, which we all are, that's when you realize you should have. Oh, I was supposed to do that.
Yeah.
I should have done that.
Because when you get that, going through,
Yeah. All those spouses out there that did not get it done, it's on their to-do list. Remember, we've got 12 days till Valentine's
Yeah.
Day. Let's see here, National Girls and Women's in Sports Day. Yeah,
there
yeah,
you go.
right.
Girls sectional week.
Girls
It's a good.
Sectional week,
Absolutely,
good time,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Congratulations to the West Washington Senators and the Eastern Musketeers.
Yeah, I saw they both won last night.
Yeah. National Signing Day. Ooh, Self-Renewal Day. That's always good.
That should be every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Sled Dog Day. Would love to do that. Ooh, Tater Tot Day.
Oh, can't go.
Can't go wrong with tater tots. I know.
Wrong.
And they're kind of hard to find. I mean, you don't get a lot of. World Read About It Day. World Ukulele Day.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that. World Wetlands Day. We're experiencing this
We're
a lot
in the
of holidays
wetlands,
today.
yes.
Yeah, we are in the wetlands today. All right, so get out and enjoy. All right, so let's see here. We are under. They changed it. They keep changing it, but I've got 2 calls coming up today about the weather from the National Weather Service. So I'll be on both calls, keeping everyone up to date. Right now, we're under a winter storm warning as well as the ice storm warning. About a quarter to a half inch of ice predicted, and half to 2 inches of snow. Also, north of Salem, there'll be about 3 to 6 inches of snow that could drop down. 30 hours of ice storm warning, and first Thursday, 1 a.m. on Thursday to 7 a.m. on Friday. So looks like we are going to be in for it. I know that with schools, I know they're trying to figure out whether to have school, and nothing's changed. Right now, all systems go. But you have to remember the people that are the powers that are be, they're making these decisions because you don't want the kids there and it for start.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to think about the wonderful bus drivers, and we have got rock star bus drivers, and you just got to keep the kids safe. So,
And that
We'll see.
is, yeah.
but it is a blessing that we have heads up where we used to not have that. You know what I mean? And now, we have a little bit more warning, a little bit more, but we'll find out as it gets on, gets a little bit further about what's going on that. So the weather, but it looks like it is coming. And we yesterday on Coffee Club, we said, because it was such a beautiful day yesterday, it was crazy. We said, this is the day for everyone to get out and do your thing. And I think everyone did get out and do their thing. It was crazy.
It was a gorgeous day yesterday.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
But it was kind of one of those things that you go, well, it's February 1st, and it's a beautiful day, and we know this ice storm's coming. So it was kind of like, okay, I'm going to enjoy every second of this. I was like, I was outside as much as I could be after work and during work and all that. So yeah, but it's kind of funny because you go, I'm not gonna let an ice storm ruin this. I'm gonna enjoy this. You almost was like, hey,
I'm surprised you were not in flip flops and shorts. I thought for sure that'd be what you'd be sporting over there. Yeah.
Well, I will say that I did have on a hoodie, shorts, and Crocs last night. So that was close for me. That was close.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Well, I said it's the calm before the storm. We had this day to get ready, and then of course now it's game on. So we'll keep everyone informed on that. Just make sure you check in. I saw a lot of people buying batteries yesterday. Make sure that they, if they need them for their flashlights. Of course, have some, if your vehicles, remember, have blankets, have some water, have some snacks.
Yeah.
And you probably need to, if you're like me, you eat your snacks and you have to.
You got to have the emergency snacks and the emergency snacks.
Right. So you might want to go replenish your snacks, So anyway, anyway, just be prepared, be careful. Also, we have Coach's Corner tonight at 7:00, and Eastern Boys will be at Henryville at 7:30. And let's see here. The Lady Senators played Edinburgh last night. They won 47-33. The Senators played Shaw Memorial Friday night in a Class A sectional 62 semifinal. Salem drew the bye for North Harrison sectional, and will continue and will play at Corydon. Corydon defeated Charlestown last night 52-39. So it's exciting.
West Washington boys have a rescheduled game tonight.
Do they? Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
One of the last weekend games was rescheduled for tonight. So.
All right, there we go. And some of that rescheduling is so hard. It makes it so difficult to get all those games in and reschedule and everything. Everybody's so busy. So, all right, there we go. All right, let's jump in and see. Jennifer, let's talk about some of the great things going on. And congratulations, we got to say. And,
thank you.
We were so proud of you. And you had a big moment. And let me make sure I say it right.
The Excellence in College Counseling Award.
Yay!
All right. So kind of tell us, how did that come about? And let us,
I was totally shocked. The week before Christmas break, I got an email from Reach Higher, which is an organization that Michelle Obama started when she was First Lady. And then they partner with Common App, the Common Application, which a lot of students use for their college applications. And then College Wise, the three of them have started this. This is the third year. And wherever the college football championship is being played, which this year it was in Indianapolis, they select a high school counselor to recognize as the counselor of the year. And when I got the email saying that I had been selected, that was the first I'd heard of it. And I was like, how did I get selected? So I started asking some of my coworkers. I said, did you nominate me for something? And they were all, didn't know anything about it either. So after the email, we'd set up a conference call with the people from Reach Higher and Common App. And they said they look at the counselors in the state that use Common App, which most schools use Common App. And they look at our FAFSA completion rate, our financial aid form completion. They look, and even though it's Excellence in College Counseling, they're not just looking at college. They want to see what our students are doing. Do they go on to the workplace, military, or college, whatever, what sort of apprenticeship options. They look at, as I said, FAFSA completion, college application, and they especially look this year at how all those numbers bode during COVID because we had the shutdown. And they also saw like our school website with the resources we have there through the counseling page and all the stuff that we put on the school pages for social media pages to get out there to the students, and I was selected. It was, I was very shocked and very humbled because, there are a lot of great counselors all across the state. And then they started telling me all the stuff that would happen. And like last week they did a story in the Salem Leader, and it said it's kind of a big deal was the headline. And it was kind of a big deal, I guess.
Yeah.
And I got.
Can I stop you right there? And I do want to get right there, but I want to say congratulations. I mean, how awesome! I mean, to be recognized. I mean, you know how you do what you do, and you don't do what you do to get recognized.
No, I don't.
You're just no. I mean, you're and then for somebody, and like really to be honest, your name. I mean, they found you. You know what I mean? How? I mean, that's above and beyond, Jennifer. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, how excited were you on that? Just that.
I was. I mean, and when I got the email, it was the Thursday evening, and I was reading it, and JD, my husband, looks over, and I said, "Listen to this," and I started reading, and we both teared up because it was like, whoa. And then I called Chris Mahiran, who's counselor there at the school, and I was telling her, and I'm like, "Did you nominate me for something?" And I was telling her, and I mean, she got more excited, I think, at that point than I did, because I was still just sort of in shock. And then, as I said, the next day I had the phone conference with the people and learned that I was going to be going to the national championship game, and they had all these other events that weekend, and it was really a fun experience. I said it's sort of like the Super Bowl of college football, because it is the national championship, and it was a great game. It was cold in Indianapolis, but it was still, they had all sorts of events. We went to the Taste of the Championship, which a lot of the restaurants there in Indy had the venue, and it was at the Indiana State Museum, and they called it Night at the Museum was the theme, and they had like a photo booth, and they had Teddy Roosevelt and the Gladiator. I mean, it was, you could get just like the Night at the Museum. They had live music, lots of wonderful food. I mean, St. Elmo's shrimp, and you can't go wrong with just and just different restaurants there. There were a couple restaurants that I had not heard of that I tried, and their food was really good. And I actually got those on my next time I'm in Indy. I want to go to this restaurant.
Oh wow!
And so that was great. We were there with high school, or not high school, but school counselors from across, not school counselors, school teachers of the year from every state. And then Indiana had 18 teachers of the year because it was in Indiana, so they had more teachers, but there was the one counselor. I mean, they were lumped together. But Joe Oakes, who's a teacher at Borden, was one of the 18 teachers, which is really sort of a unique thing, because I didn't know he was going to be there. He didn't know I was going to be there, and that's actually my sister-in-law, Amy Weaver's cousin, because she was Amy Oakes. Talk about it's a small world.
It is a small world, yeah.
Because I saw him, and I messaged her, and she didn't know he was up there. So we had our picture taken together and sent, because it was sort of weird that Amy had two people up there.
Yeah.
But he was, the 18 Indiana teachers got to carry the flags from the different conferences, because at the game, we were on the field during the national anthem. After the Georgia and Alabama bands did their pregame music selections and came off, they marched us out on the field and they announced us. And another cool thing, I'm there walking out on the field, and we knew we were going to be there, but they didn't tell us if we were actually going to be on TV. So of course I had family and different people tuning on the TV.
Yeah.
But ESPN, chooses to talk about this game, which was fine. But Mark and Whitney Richardson were at the game, and he got down close to the field and got the picture you've seen of me waving.
So good.
So another neat Salem connection there.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And then he sent it to Jamie Richardson, and then sent it to Kelly Coates, his friend, and then so I had the picture on my phone by the time I got back up to my seat. But they marched us out, and they announced, and people that were at the game got to see that. But then we were standing right there when Natalie Grant did the national anthem, and her voice is amazing.
Yeah.
And just, I got goosebumps. And they brought the flag out. The military guys did, and I always had a soft spot in my heart for the military. And it was just surreal that I was there. And it's one of those things, a once in a lifetime thing that I'll never forget. And it's been really neat. Just as I said, they treated us so well. They put up in a hotel and meals and just all sorts of the VIP treatment. And whenever, like, the teacher group and I would go, like when we walked to the stadium, we walked together as a group, and there were a lot of fans there. And they were all, hey, it's the teachers, and they're cheering, and thank you for what you do, and
That's awesome.
Getting an Uber driver or the hotel, getting in the elevator, and they're like, oh, you're here for the game, and I'm like, yeah, and well, who are you cheering for? All that. And then they ask more, and they said, well, I'm here because I was the counselor, or if I had my shirt on, thank you. You've had a really rough time with COVID, and it has been, I've done this now for a long time, and I can honestly say the last couple of years have been probably two of the hardest years of my career. And this fall was hard. We had illness and death at the high school. And on top of that, we've had COVID.
Yeah.
And I mean, it came at one of those times where I just needed that little boost, because it's been a rough couple of years. And everybody's been so great. I've had, of course, there were a lot of things on Facebook, and as said, the Salem paper did the article. Now I'm on Coffee Club, and you get a lot of shout outs. School board, and and they mentioned stuff because the January meeting was when I was at the game.
Yeah, I guess we were talking about it. Yeah.
At the February meeting, they're going to recognize me there.
Yeah, we're excited.
The high school had a cake for me the other day, a huge cake, and it's just neat how the community is just really congratulating me. And I mean, it's, as I've said, I have a great team, people past and present. I mean, there are a lot of people that are retired that have helped me get to where I am. Other schools, because I've been at other schools before Salem. The parents and the kids are great. I can't complete the FAFSA for them. I can give them the directions, I can give them help, but they actually are the ones that followed through. So I thank them. I really appreciate the Salem community, Salem schools. As I said, it's where I went to school, as you guys know, because we were in school together.
Yeah, we all believe back to
That's right. That's
but I'm 14th year now back at Salem after being some other places. And I think, and I tell the kids this all the time, when I was in high school, I never once said I wanted to be a school counselor. I wanted to be a teacher. But I said, sometimes what you think you're going to do and what you end up doing are two different things. And after I got into college and then teaching, I started thinking, maybe I'll be a counselor somewhere down the road. But now I've done counseling for over 25 years. So I've been a counselor a lot longer than I was a teacher. And never a dull moment. And no 2 days are ever the same.
Right.
But it's been a great experience. And what I like about being at Salem, a couple things. One, it's my school. Two, I get to work with the kids and the grandkids of the kids I went to school with. So like I had some of your daughters, Becky. And now we've got some of the kids that have grandkids that are coming through. And I've gotten to be there when some of my nieces and nephews are in school. So that's been a fun experience. They may not always think so, but but got to be there for that. And just being back home. And I tell the kids every year, I said, I'm one of you. I grew up out in Gibson Township. I'm a little York girl, actually country state of Gibson, that's right. And my parents didn't go to college, and that's fine. And I said, you don't have to go to college, but when you want to find something that's going to make you happy, that's going to be able to support and give back to the community. And I just feel that hopefully the kids can relate to that. And I every day I get up and I look forward to working with the kids. Those are my kids. I know you've been at Honor Day different times. I always say that's my proud mama moment, because working with those kids for several years and seeing them, in May, what they're going to do, what their scholarships are, what their future plans are. And that's just one of my favorite days of the year. And it's fun to see when they come back after they've been out, 5 years or whatever, and tell me what's going on in their life. And that's one of the great things about Facebook, is I get to keep up with all of them and what they're doing and what's going on. And that's been a great thing. And it's just some of them still, reach out and they have a question. Maybe they're in college, or they're thinking about going to college or going to an apprenticeship. Can you help me with this? So it's good. And I told them, I said, just because you graduated, you can still reach out to me. I can still help you. And I appreciate that. During all this, I've heard from so many of former students, former coworkers, family members that I maybe haven't heard from for years, but they were reaching out. And it's just really been a blessing. It's been a great experience. I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for all the students, coworkers, family that have helped make me who I am.
I love that.
I think I want to jump in here. I think the cool part of that is, like, I'm sure all three of us in this room have those teachers, administrators, whatever, that when we were in school that really, changed some things for us or whatever. But you have all these people reaching out to you. But one thing too is, because you're one of those servant leaders, that it's not about the awards. It's not about the things that you scatter, like Helen Walton said. It's not what you gather, but what you scatter that tells what kind of a life you've lived. And you planted those seeds and you're always been there. It's the ones that, you know, that's like the tip of the iceberg, are the ones that are saying, hey, congratulations. You know, there's all of that, the rest of the iceberg of those students that you may have changed their trajectory, and you may not ever know the amount of people. So I think that also on top of that award's a great thing, but it's shows your commitment to, and I like how you said our school, you know, it's my school, it's our school, you know, and that's the thing. So I think that's important. So kudos.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's go back to the award. Okay, I'm so excited. Yay. Okay, so I like to know details. Okay, so when you walk out.
She did say t-shirt. She got t-shirts.
No, I was going to say, I want to know. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, because Brad and I
got swag.
You got swag.
See,
yes. Okay,
that's
so
yeah.
right there, you'd had already right there. Okay.
I think I got 4 or 5 different shirts and a jacket and a backpack and a water bottle and mittens and gloves and a scarf and a cap, like a baseball cap, and Nike, a lot of Nike gear, because Nike was one of the sponsors. And Chick-fil-A was one of the sponsors, so we had a lot of Chick-fil-A to eat while we were up there.
Not bad.
Win-win. It's a win-win right there.
But I'm gonna say,
we got lots of swag.
So, okay, when you walk out on the actual field, okay, first of all, okay, because that is huge, okay, and all eyes, big game.
And I didn't trip, because those of you that know me know I'm sort of a klutz.
I know, that would be my concern too. So you walk out, okay, so then did you stand there and they give you, is that when they gave you something, or is that when you just stood there and they announced your name over the intercom? And
when we came out, they announced that, you know, these are the teachers of the year from the different states, and the 18 Indiana teachers of the year and the counselor of the year. So, and then we were there with Secretary of Education Cardozo, you know, and Indiana Secretary of Education Jenner, and she was there. And then a lot of this was put on by the College Football Playoff Foundation, which is a fundraiser group that they recognize teachers and they give back to teachers. They give them learning materials, assistance. It's really great the amount of money that they raise from some of these events that then go back into the classroom. They did different things in some of the Indianapolis schools that weekend because of the football game. And sort of the theme on some of the shirts, they didn't all say this, great teachers change lives, which they do. And so yeah, we got a lot of swag.
Totally awesome. So I just think that moment, I mean, like, that'll be something you will never forget. I mean, that is going to be completely, I mean, how awesome in your career. I mean, to have that, you didn't even know necessarily that this was going to be, you know, a possibility, and then to have that. And to go to that degree, I mean, and Jennifer, that's fantastic. And I'm thinking one counselor to 18 teachers, so you had to counsel a lot, probably.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it was just still thinking about it. I just like,
yeah, and you think about, I mean, how big our state is. You know what I mean? And all of the and I don't want to put this too much in the universe, but sometimes, like, you know, down here in the South, it's like, here we are, we're here, we're here. You know, we feel that way sometimes.
Exactly.
I mean, I've said that for years. You know what I mean? Down here, and we have got just, and I know at Salem School Corporation, we want our students to be able to stand in the room with somebody else from another school and you not know the difference. I mean, like, what I'm saying is our students have every opportunity that every student does. And what a great showing that showed when you went up there to Indianapolis. Isn't that?
And another thing, talking about standing in the room, our students, is another thing they looked at was all the dual credits our kids get.
Yeah.
And we have so many students graduate with enough dual credits to have their first year, even second year of college done.
Huge blessing for families.
Oh, absolutely.
Nick Knoll just graduated after 2.5 years. He graduated from college in 2.5 years. We've had several.
I just saw him yesterday. He's already.
Yeah,
wow.
And he's applying to medical school and doing some things like that. We've had several students graduate from college in 3 years. So think that year of money they've saved.
Absolutely.
And we've had several that have gone on for 4 years, but they've gotten a double major, or they've done an extensive study abroad program. Some of those experiences that, had they not had all the dual credit opportunities in high school, they wouldn't have been able to go ahead and do that in college. So I think we do a great job at Salem.
Yeah.
And I think our students do a great job, and I do think they can stand up and compete with those. I mean, I see it when they go away to college, or they go out in the workplace, or they go into the military, and they come back and tell me, because that's one of my questions. What's it like? Is it what you expected? If they're in college, what's your hardest class? What class do you feel you were best prepared for?
Right.
And because those are things I like to store, so when I'm talking to other students or talking to parents, I can share that information. And I feel we do a good job.
Yeah.
Are we perfect? No, no one's perfect.
No,
But we have a lot of great things, and tooting our own horn.
we need to.
We
Absolutely.
need to.
Well, I'm so happy, and I just think that's, to me, just, I mean, that would be, I mean, for what you do, that would be like one of the highest,
Yeah.
highest awards, really. I mean, you know what I mean? Really, I mean, think of, to be recognized and for somebody to say, and I guess and then for them to put on the Ritz all that they did for you. I mean, that's wonderful. And I think too, I think they realize what I love about this. Okay, counselors, teachers, okay, you're giving. Brad and I talk about this all the time.
Yep.
You're giving so much, and you're giving of your personal. And how nice for that one moment in time, Whitney Houston.
Right. Yeah.
No,
That's
really,
all.
that you can be given too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That you're giving back. I mean, how wonderful.
Right. Yeah. One morning I did not do this because there were other things I wanted to do, but we had the option one morning. They had massage or manicures for free. And it was like a first come, first serve, and that the teacher. So I let the teachers do it because I was.
Oh, you are better than I am. I'm telling you right now. Oh.
But I thought that was really nice.
Excuse me. Hey, there's a free something over there. You know, in the line.
No, I'm sorry. That is just. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You're good.
And I think the thing that is, you know, we do talk about, not just on Education Wednesday. We talk about all the time. Becky and I do about how important our teachers and administrators are, and how, and especially I think the thing that's good to me is, you said, you know, the last couple of years have been really, really hard. And it's one of those things that it's just like, we're not out of the woods in a lot of ways yet, but I mean, I think we get it right when we celebrate our teachers and administrators and all those people working with the kids, because it has been tough, but teachers go in every day. And they not only take care of, you know, our kid that we send to school, but everybody else's kid. And I think sometimes during this pandemic, we've forgotten that you know, it's too much of the negative. And I think it's great to celebrate the good things,
definitely.
be appreciative.
Right.
And what a lot of people on that same topic, what a lot of people maybe don't realize is if a teacher is at home sick, maybe a teacher has COVID, or a teacher's at home with a sick kid, teacher a lot of times is still putting the lessons on Google Classroom, or having to send in some plans depending on what the situation is. I mean, how many jobs, if you're sick, you still have to do your job from home or send something in. And a lot of people don't realize that. And I know we took a lot of flack a few weeks ago because we had to close for a couple days because we had so many staff members out. Yeah. We didn't have subs.
Right.
And I mean, we were doing things, Mr. Albert, he'd been very clever and creative as far as double covering classes. He was covering a lot of classes. People were covering classes on their prep period, putting two classes together when we could. Lori had, I don't know how many different classes in the library. And it wasn't just us. I mean, the elementary and middle school was having the same issues, and I'm sure they were doing creative, but it got to the point where we just did not have enough people to cover all the kids. And a lot of people, you know, they don't understand that was a big chunk of that reasoning.
Absolutely, yeah. You would, yeah. And I mean, nobody wants to not have school. It's
right.
not bad. It's a matter of you can't do it.
Right.
There's some things you just can't do.
And we had a lot of kids out too, because that was when Omicron was going nuts. So it's you hate it when the kids are out too, and they don't like to catch up on Google Classroom any more than we like to do Google Classroom.
Right.
So it really, the numbers went back down after we were off, because it was that long weekend, and then we had 2 days. So we had 5 days away, and when we came back, knock on wood, things have been better with numbers.
Absolutely, yeah. And we had a lot of that. That was coming, you know, back from some of the holidays, get-togethers and stuff. So kind of, hopefully, Clint's did kind of get it. Yeah. I wish we had cake today because this is celebrating, but I do want to go back to, and I do want to celebrate, and because this is a day definitely to honor and recognize you, Jennifer. And I 100%. I'm so glad. I didn't know the degree and I didn't know the details, so I'm so happy to hear all of this. This is so awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you.
But let's talk about, just since we do have you in here as counseling. I mean, degree of difficulties right now with counseling, aren't you? I mean, like you said, this is the 2 years have been probably the most strenuous or stress, a lot going on.
Yes.
Okay. What as far as our students, are you seeing, like, I guess, our what, I guess some of the degrees that you're seeing, some of the difficulties you're seeing, just or what, I guess, just kind of let us know your day in life a little bit.
Something that's changed really, I would say, in the last 10 or 12 years are the number of students that have anxiety issues and panic attacks. That's something that was never, like when we were in school, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And some of it's,
Well, there's a couple.
yeah. but it's one of those things that I think it's been there, but it's manifesting itself more. And used to, I mean, I can think of kids that didn't come to school because they always had a stomach ache. That may have been anxiety.
Yeah.
But now we have that, and it's getting recognized as anxiety. Or we have the kids that actually, the breathing, and they think they're having a heart attack or hyperventilating. And so there's a lot more of that. And COVID's only made that worse because kids like routine. They like set, standards, whatever. And we are in school, we're not in school, we're in school, we're not in school. Yeah. That gets them all in a panic. And then come back to school and they're scared, am I going to get sick if I'm at school? I mean, it's a whole new ballgame. And then social media has a lot to do with it. If Johnny doesn't like my post 28 times, he doesn't really like me or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's something that goes along with it. The whole online, when we were out for so long, it was concerning because for a lot of kids, school is their constant, school is their safety net, school is where they get the meal, or at least teachers are checking in with them every day. They see them if they see if something's off, or they'll come down and they'll say something to us. I mean, the counselor's office and a lot of teachers too, we have all sorts of snacks and different things, and kids know they can come in and get something. And
and that's got to be stressful for you all too,
right? Because we don't know what's going on.
It's like, because those kids are like your kids. But so what do you think it is? And it's interesting to me that you said it's 10 or more years that it's really the anxiety is manifested itself a little more prevalent than what we think about when we were younger. So what do you think that is? More social media, or is it a lot of factors? I mean, because 10 years ago is kind of a long time. But what kind of changed that for you from your perspective?
I think social media is a big part, but I also think kids put so much stress and pressure on themselves. When we were in school, we were still kids. I mean, these kids today, they have part-time jobs. They take 112 college credits. They play 3 sports, and they have to be the best in those 3 sports. I mean, we did those things, but I think when I was in school, and you guys were just a year behind me, but I think we had 1 college class. Yeah, you guys are younger, yes.
We love to hear that.
I'm closer to 60 now than I am 50. So,
we're not.
Sorry, we're Brad.
Yeah. But I think they put so much pressure on themselves, and the whole, going back to college stuff, the whole college admission process. I applied to college in spring of my senior year. Now you're applying first thing in your senior year, and you've got to apply to this school, and you have to list all these community service activities and all these activities, and you have to apply to this scholarship and this scholarship. There's just so much, and part of, you have those type A kids anyway.
Yeah.
And then on top of this, they're doing all this other stuff because they have to be the best, or they have to be, and they just need to breathe sometimes. And that's what, when I go in and talk to like the top kids in like English classes, the honor English classes, they see me come in, and some of them get that look like, oh, she's going to tell us all this. And it's because they know they want to do this, they want to excel. But I'm always like, guys, don't be so hard on yourself. Breathe in. I do breathing with them. I'm like, just breathe a little bit, relax your shoulders. It's going to be okay. I get you through this. We do it together. But that's part of it too. I think they just put too much pressure on themselves. And sometimes, don't want to offend anybody, but sometimes I think parents put too much pressure on their kids.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I think that's very fair to say. And I think I know that was something that was very stressful. And it's sad when they don't know what they want to do.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? When they have like all these different interests, but it's like for sure. And just like you're saying, you did not know that you were going to be a counselor. You thought teacher. I mean, Brad didn't know what he was going to be. I didn't know I was going to be here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times our paths change, and we talk about that all the time, that you set off one way, and I think that's very fair, but I think sometimes that too is just like it's like, well, I don't know what I want to do. And then you feel like you've got to have something by your senior year. I've got to know what I want to do.
And I think sometimes as parents, when you look at things, it's like it is almost, it's a little bit scary when you say, hey, do you like this? Do you want to do this? And they say, well, right now I really don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes as a parent, that's
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, wait, what? No,
No,
I mean,
it's true. Yeah,
because,
you're right.
and that's what, sometimes parents can make that a little bit worse in that, it's like, well, I know what I want to do right now. I've had to grow up 2 different times or 3 different times, but right now you're 16. You need to know what you want to do. And that's a very good point because we don't all often think about that.
And I try and emphasize that at parent nights. I'm like, it's okay if they don't know. I said, and I encourage students to job shadow. I encourage them to take some of those career tests, and we do those things. And sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't. But I always tell them too, when I was a senior in high school, I was a cadet teacher because I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I went and worked with Miss Hobson, my 3rd grade teacher, who I truly love, and one of the best teachers I ever had.
Yeah.
But I knew after that year that I wasn't going to teach elementary. I knew that was not my.
That's not for me. Yeah.
But and that's what I tell them. I said, go find out what you like, what you don't like. You don't have to get a set in stone career, but sort of find out some of those things. That's one thing in the summer. COVID's messed this up some, but we'll go out and do different externships at different industries and things so I can learn about the jobs, so I can tell the kids a little bit more about it. I spent a day over here at Painter Machine Shop learning about that, and that's very interesting to me. Is it a job that I probably want to do? No, but it was interesting and seeing all the different skill sets they have. Loaded furnaces out at MPP for 2 hours, and it about killed me.
I could only imagine.
But it was a good. But they did a really good job. They took me from stage 1 all the way to, and the last day I was there, I was shipping and doing the packing and shipping.
Cool.
So I got to see the entire process of how that works. I've been to Jeans Extrusion. I've been to different Kimball's. I've been on different businesses learning about what they do.
Did you do GKN?
Yes, I've done GKN. In fact, when I was at GKN, they started me, did sort of the same type of thing. They started me with an orientation program they had going for new employees, and then I did a little bit of each job because I was there for a few days. And some of the adults that were working there were like parents of our kids, and they thought I was quitting counseling and going out there to get a job. That rumor was going around the factory. And that was another neat thing too, at both MPP and GKN especially, since I was working in the factory for a little bit, I got to talk with parents too, because they would see me and they say, hey, can I ask you a school question? And that was fun. That gave me another way to make that connection with them. And it's nothing from the other. Just a few weeks ago, I was in JC's store, and a senior parent said, I've got a question for you. I hate to bother you on a Saturday. I said, it's okay. I can't walk into Walmart without seeing,
So if you want to come spend some time with me on a regional call or a market call or anything like that, or talk about our onboarding process, because one thing that we do, for those kids that maybe aren't sure yet right away, we offer, Walmart gives college tuition reimbursement, and so that's
you have your own
that we
college program too.
So it's good opportunities. And we have good career things, but you want to come over and hang out with us, we'll show you some stuff too. And you'll get to see parents and stuff like that.
And kids or graduates.
Food will be somewhere.
Okay.
Absolutely.
The Little Debbie ice cream.
Yeah, there you go. Have a spoon, we'll travel. Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that's great opportunities, and I think for our children, and I think that we're totally in a different world, and everybody's just trying to figure it out. And I think our governor, when he was doing everyday speeches, that was one thing. I'm trying to read someone speak about education, was talking about how, school, there's so many teachers and counselors and custodians, bus drivers, everybody, I don't want to leave anybody out, that are so important in a child's life. Whether it's, I can remember custodians that we've had in school that I adored, that would always like, hi, Becky, or like, hi, how how's your morning, or whatever, what I'm saying? Or bus drivers. The last one to give you that smile, have a great night, have a great day, whatever, or how are you doing this morning, the first smile you see. And those are so important, and we missed out on some of that, and our children didn't have those mentors, those people in their lives that every child, they said, this is what they said, every child has to have somebody that's on their team. That one person has to be on their team. And sometimes that's school. It could be the teacher, the counselor, the custodian, the bus driver,
the coach.
The coach. Absolutely. How many times in our head, I can quote coaches, that I had that that they didn't think I was listening, but I was. At times I am catching it. But
I promise.
I promise. Yeah, and I will quote you someday. But at certain times, you don't realize it. And maybe the children don't realize it, or the counselor or the teacher doesn't realize it. But they're very valuable to that child's growth in life.
And one thing that I'm sure the governor talked about this during all this, the number of cases at DCS went down. During that time, and that's because the kids weren't out where people could catch neglect and that was very sad. Kathy Huey, who retired a few years ago, she would call me sometimes during the day because doing all this, and she's like, I'm just so concerned about these kids that aren't at school because are they getting fed, or what's happening to them? And she's been retired, but she still cares. She was like, can you tell me some kids that I should take some food to? Once again,
and that's the things that people want to are quick to criticize educators and administrators and folks involved in that, but it's those types of things that it's just like, that's the people you want on your side. That's the people you want looking out for, not just your kids, but everybody's kids. But I hadn't even thought about that, that how troubling that would be to think about, that there's another side effect of the pandemic is there's kids that went hungry, or that got neglected, or things, and that's another thing that if we don't take care of our kids, that's our future. And it just amazes me that sometimes we try to hinder those who are trying to take great care of our kids.
And a shout out to our lunch folks, because they did put meals together, but sometimes getting those meals or getting the people to get the meals.
Right. We had teachers and Chris Mahir, and she several times would ride the bus with the bus driver to help, and they would go deliver meals all over.
That's just awesome.
And some of the teachers did. I know Kevin Albertson did a lot of work with that as well. And as said, the lunch ladies, they put it all together, and that was great.
Yeah, they're rock stars too. Yeah, and like you're saying though too, go back to they have families too, and they have probably ones that maybe that have been, were affected. Everybody had somebody that you could or something going on. So, and for them to give up their time too, and I think that was above and beyond. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we had so many, but I do, I don't want to, because we're trying to take, going forward, not going back, just kind of going reminders. We've not talked to you, Jennifer, about this, but I know counselors, I can't say enough about how important counselors are and we've seen that. And we've known that's so the backbone. We need that. And also something else too, maybe you have that junior, senior, or maybe that senior that, things are kind of, a lot of hurdles and stuff, and to give that push, you got this, and to keep encouraging. And I'm sure that's something, talk about that, because I know you have to, you're that person that does that.
That is, last week I went in, and the seniors, I gave them letters that if they had more than just the English or government class they had to get through, some of them have some online classes they're finishing up. I gave them all a letter, said this is what you got to do to graduate. And the letter also went home, and I said it's going home, so I want to give you a heads up. And it's still, this was still January at that time. I said you still got plenty of time, but you're not, first semester, if you failed the class, okay, well, I'll make it up second semester. But second semester, you don't have that wiggle room, because you have to have all your credits in order to march at graduation. And it gets to the point where next few months, I'll be doing lots of calls home for those students that are still missing something, or still, and some of the parents, we become best friends. But it was funny, because back at MPP, there was one parent that I called every week. And I had never met her face to face, but I'd talked with her on the phone every week. And her son did graduate. And then one day I was working with her at MPP, and things were fine. And she said, "You don't know who I am, do you?" And I said, "No, I'm sorry." And she told me, and I said, "Oh, I know my eyes probably." And she said, "Thank you." She said, "We got him through." And because there were a couple times she was probably getting tired of me calling. But so there are things like that. But yeah, it gets frustrating, because I'm just like, do your work. Yeah. But a lot of times they have other things going on.
Well, and absolutely.
And sometimes it's that backstory that maybe a teacher's not aware, and a lot of times I'm not allowed to give the teacher that information. Right. But sometimes, like, hey, cut him a little slack, or cut her a little slack right now. Mm-hmm. And teachers are good about that too, and they understand that sometimes we have a missing part of the story, and that's one thing I always tell kids. If you get something going on, I said, come tell us.
Mm-hmm.
I said, maybe we can help. Maybe we can, alleviate some stress there, or whatever. And sometimes they don't want other people to know, which I get that too. But it can be challenging at times. But knock on wood, we get them through.
Absolutely, and we do have a great graduation rate. I mean, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do.
and that's a blessing, and that's something that we can be very happy about. Yeah. And I think we all remember our senior year. You might need that little bit of a nudge just to stay the course, stay focused.
Yeah, and after spring break, it really.
That's when it really.
Squirrel, sun's shining. Yeah.
So, well, it's just a whole nother world, and we appreciate you sharing that with us. And I think it's good for our listeners and everybody to know. Because a lot of times we don't know everything that's going on and all that that you do, and what a blessing to be recognized, Jennifer. I'm just over the moon for you, and I think that just the coolest thing. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I was still just don't know how to say outside of saying thanks. It was a great opportunity, and I. A couple other things that go along with it. I was interviewed by Forbes.com, and that's gonna come out this week or next. But then in March they do a panel, the Reach Higher group, and some of our seniors are going to be on the panel about their experiences with the whole college process. And it's actually during our spring break, but I found some seniors that are willing to give an hour during their spring break to do this webinar thing with Reach Higher, and that'll go out to counselors and everywhere. So those are a couple other neat things.
That is awesome.
Big time.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal. Yeah.
I'd say
no, big deal.
It is a big deal. Will you please keep us informed on that?
Okay? Yes, I will.
We'd love to know more about that.
But because when she gave me the date for the student counselor panel, because they've got the counselor from that won the award last year and some of her students, and they just and I said, that's our spring break. I said, I'll see what I can find. And I sent out to 5 or 6 seniors hoping to get 2 or 3, and all said, a couple of them, well, I'll be in Florida, but I can come in and talk for an hour. It's the middle of the day, Sunday. It's on a Tuesday with the sun, and they're going to come in and give up an hour of their spring break. And that says a lot about our kids, and we've got a lot of good kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's not to be sad, but when Derek Smith passed away, it was really hard. And the senior class reached out to the teachers. They were going around and checking on teachers that came and brought me H&R and said, Miss Martin, I know this has got to be rough.
Oh.
And that's the type of seniors we have. And I mean, other grades too, but just a shout out to the class of 22, your special group.
Great. That's awesome.
That's a lot, and that was hard. That was hard for our line
community.
For sure, and definitely. So that's for sure. Wow. Well, congratulations, and what a great a win for anyone in our community is a win for all of us. You know what I mean? And so, what a great representative. We are representative up there. You represented us. What a great, putting us on the map, showing, Washington County, showing Salem, showing, highlighting our school system, Salem School Corporation. And we know there's a lot of great things. You know what I mean? We've got safe rooms that no one else will have. 3 safe rooms. You know what I mean? We have a pool. We have a steam room coming. I mean, we've got so many great things. But for somebody else out of all of the Indiana to say, hey, we notice you. Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you mentioned about Southern Indiana, the West Washington principal. She sent me the nicest email. Congratulating. She said sometimes Southern Indiana educators don't get recognized. Yeah. And I thought, West Washington, it's a rival. We're still friends. But I thought that was really nice that she took time to send me this nice email and talking about the importance. And so.
Love that. I love that. Well, that's the way to go. That's the way to be. That's exactly right. Well, and that's something. Anytime anyone takes time to write you something or to give you that encouragement or how proud they are of you, that's above and beyond.
And several of the counselors from Southern Indiana that I know through working with them, we share students back and forth.
Sure.
I've gotten a lot of neat emails and cards and things from them, and so it's just been a really neat experience. People reaching out and hey,
Yeah.
Some person was getting their, the counselor at Orleans was getting her oil changed at Walmart, and the paper was laying there, and she sends me a picture, said, I had no idea.
Awesome.
That's cool.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so-
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, and it can be. I mean, that. Well, I'm glad everyone's singing with you and rejoicing. That's
Uh-huh.
awesome. Yeah,
yeah, it's
and
been
that's great. Well, congratulations, and we're so proud of you. And again, the name of the award is the.
Excellence in College Counseling Award.
Okay. Did you get? And you got T-shirts. Did you get a plaque or a trophy or a little something or a?
Yes, actually, in March I go up to Butler to University.
They're gonna do more.
Yeah, there is
Look at you! I love this.
They were supposed to have the Friday of the weekend I was up there. It was going to be at Butler, but with COVID and the people from Common App were coming from DC, and everything got snowed in the east. So they had to reschedule the Excellence in College Counseling meeting. So in March they're doing that now at Butler, and it's a meeting for counselors, and they've got different speakers and things, and I'll get recognized there and get the actual trophy or whatever. I had a picture taken by the National College Football Championship trophy, and my nephew, who's 8 years old, he thought that was the trophy I got.
Oh my gosh! Look at that! Yeah, you're the coolest of people.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, how cool
that's
is
pretty
that?
cool.
Yeah,
But anyway, so I actually get the trophy or plaque or whatever in a few weeks.
Oh, how awesome! Yeah, and you got all the. I mean, that's above and beyond. That's wonderful, and how that to me would just be gold. Yeah, and good for you. So, where are you going to put it in your office? You're going to take it home? What are you going to do? How are you going to? So
I
many
think-
ways you can.
I
play
know.
this.
Maybe I'll keep it in my office during the school year, and that couple weeks I'm at home in summer. I'll probably
come with me.
I'll have it at school because it said it's the kids and my coworkers that they're part of the reason I got it.
Yeah,
So
that's cool. You share it with them. That's
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
thank you.
All right, Bradley, let's talk. Okay, so we're 12 days till Valentine's Day and
Yep.
11 days till the big Super Bowl.
Yep.
Who are you going for Super Bowl?
Oh,
Jennifer?
Bengals.
Bengals, yeah. What about you?
Bengals.
Bengals, yeah.
They're
It's right here.
they're close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're our sister right over here.
Yeah. And Blair Thompson, he's a big Bengals fan.
I
so
texted him right at that. Who they?
Who they?
Who they?
And I have a lot of friends that are Bengals fans. So
Well, I almost signed with them. I was between them and the Colts. I didn't think I could take both, but I actually worked. I talked to. They're behind the scenes. They're wonderful. They're fantastic. But this was years ago. So, but anyway, so I have to say I would go. I'm completely Bengals. Yeah. So yeah. But anyway, so we got everything for the big game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And if people start noticing that some of our seasonal lawn and garden stuff is coming in,
Yeah.
so we're a couple of weeks away from the first big surge, but we've got some stuff already coming in, so that's always good. You know how I am about that. It's just like, okay. So when that starts coming in, but we got everything you need for Valentine's Day, and again, I'm going to give my weekly advice. The big game and Valentine's Day are two separate things. So guys, seriously, do
Look at this.
enjoy the big game, but don't think that heart-shaped cookie is gonna, because she may say, yeah, that's okay, but just think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we're ready for Valentine's Day. There's all kinds of candy and all kinds of things.
Love that.
We're already starting to get in spring apparel, so that's pretty
Yeah,
cool. That's a big deal, and
yeah.
we're expanding our apparel line, things like that. So
Yeah.
So there's some good clearance deals going on right
Definitely.
now too. So,
Yeah.
but anything that you would want for, if you want to do the preparing for the big game, you can. But we've got all that stuff prepared. We've got dips. We've got everything ready to go. The wings, tenders, whatever you want to do, wedges, things like that. So cupcakes, cakes, So come see us over there. But so you can make it as complicated or less complicated as possible. So
Yeah.
yeah, and we've got new options that have started coming in. We're going to add some more beginning this weekend for the hot case. So check out some new things there. So pretty good deals.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Jennifer, what's your favorite Super Bowl food? What's that one thing you really?
Oh, I don't know if I can narrow it to one. I like wings.
Yeah.
I like loaded potato skins, and I like the refried bean dip and the chips.
Yeah. What about you, Bradley?
I would have to say the queso with everything in it.
Okay, yeah, that'd be good too.
Chorizo, everything. That's good. But I'm a wings guy. I like garlic parmesan, but I love our ranch wings. That's just my
They're-
go-to for anything, you
Yeah.
know, as far
Yeah.
as that goes.
Okay. Now I'm
So,
getting hungry.
yeah. So that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
many
the
ways.
fried dill pickle chips that we have now with ranch dip. Oh,
Those
my
would be good.
gosh,
Yeah.
that's really good.
Yeah.
So,
All of the above, and then the ice cream. Don't forget the ice cream.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
gotta
Ice
have-
cream.
yeah.
Gotta have ice cream. Yeah. For sure.
yeah.
So exciting time, and of course ready for Valentine's, and it's exciting for sure with everybody. So yay. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer Martin, coming in, counselor
Thank
at
you.
Salem Community Schools, and this is Education Wednesday, and thanks for educating on this. We knew it was a big deal, but we didn't realize the degree of big deal. I'm so glad you did the breakdown for us, because what a great experience.
It was awesome. It
Yeah.
really was.
Yeah, and I love that they lavished you like that. That's good.
As I said, it felt like a celebrity. I mean,
Yeah.
it's sort of cool.
Well, and that's good though,
Yeah.
because you should be, because you give all the time. So it's nice to be given to. It's probably it was kind of like what?
Yeah.
But yeah, because I was like, and I mean, I stayed right there off Monument Circle, which is where they had the concerts on Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah.
So I could hear the music from my room. I didn't have to go down there and freeze.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. I mean, I could hear it. So I mean, it's a great location right there in the center of, where Monument Circle is, and just a few blocks from the stadium. So it was a great experience.
Love that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. Again, congratulations.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It is going to rain. The rain came down. Yes, and it's going to rain, and then it's going to go into possibly some freezing rain. Let me sit real quick. I will keep people updated. I'm going to be on a couple of conference calls with the National Weather Service. Let's see here. It was supposed to be predicted from 1 to 2, but then to the north of us a little bit of our county, 3 to 6 inches are supposed to come down. And ice is predicted, so storm warning, and we are going to be starting that when our temperatures start.
And I do want to, there's some things that's been on Facebook. There are some stores that have run out of some stuff, but your Salem Walmart's good on milk, eggs, bread.
I love
We're
that.
good to go. The only
Yeah.
thing that we're struggling with is rock salt, but
Oh.
but yeah.
Do you have biscuits? Because that's a big thing right
I
now.
saw that.
And I don't know what that's about.
Yeah. So yeah, there was supposed to be a dairy truck come last night. I haven't looked for
Okay.
biscuits specifically, but I know that we are extra on milk and eggs. So
Yay!
I actually know what word that's supposed to be, but
Yeah, but
yeah, extra. We need it. So yeah, so we're good to go there. Oh, and please be patient with us. Some of the last minute online grocery orders may not get to be filled because it filled up quickly. And then tomorrow during the storm itself, we may have to limit how many orders we can have based on state of emergency, because we limit that not because we may not have the stuff, but we don't want folks coming in a dangerous situation. And we don't want customers coming out in the middle of a snowstorm to come out and pick up stuff like that. You know, that can wait till Friday, or we'll do everything, and we're going to add some extra orders today to get people taken care of today before the bad weather hits at 1 a.m. So please just think ahead on that too.
Yeah.
Please be patient with that, because we want our customers and our associates safe.
That's
the most
exactly
important
right.
thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Well, that's good. And I
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing that information. So thank you guys for coming in, and happy Wednesday, wet Wednesday at that. And I curled my hair at some point, but it's like as soon as I walk out, there's always downpours.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It might trickle a little, and then as soon as I walk out, when it's
Elmira, Corridon, and Maringo's home for rock classics. 97.9 WSLM. Common sense is a superpower. American heroes, Rick and Bubba.
It is 6 minutes past the hour.
Well, I was rolling down the road in some cold blue steel. I had a blues man on the back and a beautician at the wheel.
Yep.
We're going downtown in the middle of the night. Yeah, we laughing and we joking and we feeling alright. Yeah.
Oh, I'm back.
Welcome to the Rick and Bubba Show.
I'm nationwide.
From sweet home Alabama to the nation and to the world.
Yes, I'm back. I'm nationwide.
The gang is all here for a brand new hour. including one Bill Bubba Bussey.
Great, glad to be here, and thank all of you for joining us here at the little thing we call the Rick and Bubba Experience.
And we bad.
Nationwide.
All right, so we need to update the ongoing truckers in Canada protesting mandates from King Trudeau, their King of Canada, as he is telling us that if you have certain points of view, they're unreasonable, they should not be heard.
Yeah. So to update everybody, this is the mask mandates that are being required by over-the-road truckers.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting in their cab alone, by the way. This is very bizarre.
Which is bizarre.
And if you come into Canada, you have to quarantine 2 weeks before you can drive your truck. Well, you see a problem with that.
Yeah, you got to.
And
kind of hard to make that halt.
So the truckers have been protesting, and they have clogged up the border between the U.S. and Canada. At one point, they said trucks they were 45 miles in length.
Good night.
Well, the Canadian officials are getting a little tired of this, and now they are upping the ante a little bit.
And
we have some footage of some police officers that are breaking the news here.
All right, here we go.
But you're not making it a communication. You're saying you are moving now.
That's not.
That is not communication. That's demand.
So that's not the message that Greg said, okay? Okay, we've listened to you. Greg's trying to tell you the message, so I just want to make this clear. And then we can talk to your legal representative and see if another option becomes available, but we need to deliver this message. And in return, we have heard you, and we will deliver that message back to our secretary.
Thank you.
We have heard you.
Yeah.
But the communication and direction we've been given is this. You, if you do not wish to be here or do not wish to have your truck impounded and be arrested, you are being given the option to move out to your vehicle and leave.